Well, welcome to episode 2 of Shifting Gears and Drinking Beers. As always, here with my partner Tony Fry. How's it going, Tony?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Been a long week, um, but I guess let's just jump right into it. We have it's been 2 weeks since our last one. Nothing much major's changed in the league as a whole. We kicked off the season not this week, but last week at Daytona. All the series are at Daytona. Um, so I guess we can start with that. You just want to start with ARCA? Uh,
Yeah, ARCA was interesting. A lot of good battles in that race.
there was. It was a good race. I think I was in the booth broadcasting with Isaac during that race. It was fun to watch. Uh, that car reminds me a lot of the Gen 6 car at the end there with the draft package. Um,
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's pretty fun to drive and gets big runs. A lot of people, put it in some holes that were tight, but it is what it is.
Yeah, we did what they do. ARCA ran. It was a 50 lap race that went into overtime, but 5 cautions, so it wasn't terrible. It could obviously be better, but
It's not
first.
considering the situation with what almost 40 drivers that are all brand new to each other, and then we throw them on a super speedway. I'd say that's not bad.
Yeah, it was definitely fun to watch. You were talking about the new ARCA car, and it definitely does race a lot like the old Gen 6 car, but man, I cannot get used to that steering in that car. It's like it's the front end just wants to float,
It
especially
does
at super speedways.
it does feel a little floaty. Um,
Yeah,
I don't know what that is. Ain't nothing we can do about it in a fixed setup though.
right.
And I think Kyle Miller was the winner there. Made
Oh yeah.
a an awesome move coming through the out of four and through the tri-oval to just put it up the middle and just nose his way to a win. It was a great move. Awesome driving.
Yeah, I was kind of watching him that whole back end of the race, and he was doing everything he could. He was putting it outside, he was putting it up the middle, and just really couldn't make any progress until that last run for the win.
Yeah, one thing about Daytona, which I don't prefer, if I want to run a super speedway, I prefer Talladega. Daytona, you just have to be so aggressive at certain points to move up through the field. And I mean, he started 10th on the green before the caution before the green white checker, and he made up like 5 spots each run. So pretty good.
Oh, absolutely. Uh, yeah, you know, that race was gridded off of the duels from the week before. So I believe he started like seventh, Kyle Miller, and able to survive the mayhem and come back all the way up through the field and get the win was pretty good. Didn't quite get that most laps led bonus point, but just came up four four laps shy.
Mm, right on. All in all, I thought it was a good race, especially for the circumstances with all the new guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there was some. There's a few returning drivers in ARCA. We had a few that dropped from other series, but I would say probably what 75% of them are brand new to the league, or maybe came in for a few races last season and then just started again
Yeah,
this season.
yeah, agreed. Then after that, we had trucks. Joe Ibarra won that race. I don't remember much about the trucks or what happened in that race. That's on me.
Yeah, I want to. I may have raced that one. I don't even remember to be honest, but they had 4 cautions, so not bad. Now this series we had primarily returning drivers. I would say half the field was returning drivers, so
Yeah.
it wasn't as much of a mix of new drivers in there, but I mean, all in all, it was a pretty solid race. There was a few moments there where it could have went bad, but 4 cautions, not terrible for having, say, what, 20 drivers new to the series.
Yeah. And I was hoping to get Ibarra in here for an interview, but he is not here yet. So if he does pop in, we'll drag him in and interview him.
Yeah, that whole team kind of just took that race over. They worked together really well. The Mirage SRR guys, and then all their sub teams, if you will.
What's all them sub teams? That Joe and them?
Yes, you got
They got like
Joe and
12 cars on the grid.
you're not kidding. Yeah, they got like 4 Mirage SRR guys. They got Team All Track 1, Team All Track 2, Premier Racing Team. So yeah, I would say probably half the field is got ties to the Mirage SRR crew.
Right on. Let me see. They say you're a little quiet. Let me see if I can bump you up a little bit. I think that's what fixes it. See if that's better. I don't remember the last lap of the trucks. And I was broadcasting that race with Jacob, I believe, and I just don't remember anything about it. I'm bad. If I don't
If
write something down, I don't remember it.
if I remember correctly, it was a last lap battle. And a few guys that were in the mix for the win kind of, I think they got tangled up. But then it came down to Joe Ibarra and Joe Robert for the win, and Ibarra edged him out by 300ths of a second.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it was a pretty close finish.
I feel like I should have remembered that. I probably just came away happy that Joe Robert didn't win.
We're gonna hear about that later.
I know. Uh, and then Xfinity, Gary Sack Attack G3 for the win. And North South had a good race. Jacob Treat came away with a stage win, and he was there at the end. But all in all, that was a pretty calm, clean race, if I remember correctly. There was a couple incidences in there, but I don't remember anything too bad.
So they had 5 cautions. One of them was for the stage, so 4 total
4.
cautions. But
How many laps? 75?
80.
80?
And there must have been a wreck early on because we had a couple people that were 69, 68 laps down. But 18 on the lead lap at the finish out of 35 drivers.
Yeah, it was a good race. I was screaming at Jacob to go high out of 4, and he wouldn't listen to me. I think he could have won it.
So we do have Joe Ibarra in the green room, and I'm about to move Brennan Mattia down to the green room as well.
Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and get Joe in here since we just finished up trucks. Hey, Joe, and it's Tony and Matt in the podcast. You got us?
Yeah, loud and clear, brother. How are you tonight? Both of you, actually.
Pretty good. How you doing?
Good.
Oh, good. I actually just got home. We celebrated my mom's 49th birthday today, so she's turning the big old 50 next year. But
happy birthday, Joe's mom.
I don't know that she would appreciate you telling everybody her birth or her age.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. We like to rub it in. But yeah, how are you boys tonight? Thanks for allowing me to be on the podcast. I greatly appreciate it.
No problem. We're doing good. We just finished up talking about the Daytona truck race, but we can go back and hear it from your point of view and how it was and what you thought of it.
Yeah, dude. I thought that was a really good race for everybody in the league, honestly. We had a couple of cautions that night. They were honestly mostly pretty early. except for I think we had one later in the race. But outside of that, I thought everybody raced pretty clean. Obviously comparing that to Chicagoland this past week, but yeah, it was really fun though. I mean, for a super speedway for first race of the season, I thought it was really great. I know a lot of people are kind of maybe a little upset with Mirage SRR just because we got quite a few guys that were up front for most of the race. I know we were controlling the field for the most part, trying to just you know get a win for the team. But outside of that, I mean, it was a great time with everybody. Though I thought everybody raced really well.
Teammates are a huge advantage at super speedways.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
can get linked up, you can do some work.
yeah, without a doubt. I mean, you try that anywhere else that's not a super speedway, it's not working. Uh, but yeah, it was a great race though. I thought.
So how does it feel to be locked in the playoffs after the first race of the season?
That's where I was
I'll tell
gonna
you what,
go.
Tony. I'm excited, man. I had a really rough season last year. I had a hard time keeping most of my races clean. I got caught up in a lot of wrecks. But I know I really wanted to get it done at Daytona. I knew I had a good chance. I've always raced well at Daytona, to be honest. Even in this league, I would always get caught up at something at the end. So I'm just really glad I got it done. It feels good, locked in playoffs after week one. Like, man, I'm kind of like rusting easy for the rest of the season in a way. I'm not gonna give up, obviously, but I'm gonna try to go win a couple more. But it just feels good that I'm locked in already.
Oh, I
So
bet.
so you said this season, Joe. Remind me, how many seasons have you been with us?
This will be season 4 now.
Yeah.
I've been here quite a bit. I know Michael Ball was one of the admins introduced him this or something. I think they raced with them in just like an official race or something, and they're like, hey, you want to join our league? And Ball and we just got done racing a different league that shut down, so we were kind of like searching for something to join, and he invited me, and I remember we raced at I think Old Atlanta. It was during one of the playoff races. You guys allowed us to the new drivers come out and drive, and ever since then, man, I tell you what, you guys have been a blast to race with. Like all the admins, everybody in this league, you guys do a hell of a job of keeping this league running and keeping it running well.
Appreciate that. So,
Well, we talked about Daytona. How'd your Chicago land
yeah,
go?
yeah.
Man, I thought I was one of the fastest trucks out there that night. I ran top 3 most of the race, or at least the first half of the race, until we had a yellow flag. We had to go into pits, and then literally I think it was lap 78 or something like that, or like lap 80. We just got a big old wreck happened, and I got caught up in some silly crap. Unfortunately, I was restarting 10th or something like that, and somebody tried to send it 3 wide and into turn 1 right as the green flag dropped, and by golly, that was not the play, and that caused some mayhem. But it happened. So it's early in the season. We're gonna learn from this, and hopefully the guys realize that you can't win halfway through the race still. So outside of that, I'm pretty happy with the truck. I'm glad Joe Robert got it with Sam Leota. Man, he got second place. I know he was pumped.
Yeah.
It's great hearing his interviews, dude. I love
Yeah.
that, man. I love when he gets a podium, dude.
Everybody
His
loves Sam, I
energy,
think.
nobody
Yeah.
can match his energy, dude. I
No,
swear.
no.
It's crazy.
I love his interviews. He's not even on my team, and I love to see him get up there on a podium.
100%, dude. Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, he's been that was like our probably favorite pickup for Mirage SR too. Like grabbing Sam, that was awesome because the improvements he's made since joining the league and to even this season and last season, like it's unbelievable. He's done such a great job.
Yeah, he got himself a win last season, didn't he? At Talladega,
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah, we were talking about the Mirage SRR and all the affiliated teams. You guys kind of take up about half the truck field.
Well,
Yeah.
excuse me, sorry, I burped something. Yeah. So it was. I think what was it? Our first season. Ball and we were just alone. We just had nobody, and we saw Joe was driving the trucks. We're like, oh man, this would be a good addition. He didn't have a specific truck team. We didn't know Ethan owned him at the time, but we reached out to Ethan, and that's how it all started, man. I'll tell you what. And then we just been expanding. We got Alan. Alan was racing for a while. He took a break, but hopped back in. So we got him. And then outside of that, we're like, why don't we expand? Like, why don't we go look for some other people and then try to practice them as much as possible, help other people get better. And I tell you what, we have a what does Treat say, the conglomerate? That's what he calls our little group.
Yeah, a
And
conglomeration.
yeah, but yeah, it's fun racing with all those guys, man. I mean, it's really cool. Like we're all sorts of variety of racers, but just be able to all race with each other and have fun. I think it's
If it came
what
out
it's
of
all about.
Jacob's mouth, he probably called it like a conglomeratory or something. Just
Yeah.
made up a word.
Oh yeah. But yeah, it's awesome being part of Mars SR. I think we got a good group and happy to see what the future holds for us, man.
Cool. Well,
And speaking of Mirage SR, we are the back to back to back champs for teams. So if we're looking to four-peat this season, hopefully as well.
Well, I think you'll have your work cut out for you this season if Joey Burchett hangs around the whole season.
Yeah, it sucks that he didn't get a race last week.
yeah.
It always sucks when you have one of those top drivers out of the races because you want as much competition as possible. It's always good to see some other new drivers win, but it's always fun racing with Burchett. He's such a good guy.
Yeah, and it seems like Chapman's getting better as well. So
For sure.
and Pemberton, he just came up, I believe, to the trucks this season as well on their team. So I think you guys will have a good team championship battle with those guys over
Good old
there.
trackside racing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good group to battle against. It's always fun competing with that other group.
All right, oh man, we appreciate you stopping by. We're gonna let you get on out of here. Thanks for coming out. Good win good win, and we'll see you on track next week.
Yeah, thanks, brother. Thanks, Tony. Thanks, Matt. Hope you have a great rest of the night, and thanks for doing everything you guys do.
We appreciate it, man. You
Yes,
have a good
sir.
night too.
Thank you, brother.
Oh, he left on his own. All right. So while we got Brendan in the waiting, we'll go ahead and talk about the ARCA Vegas race. I was not here last night to watch it. I was at a middle school band concert for my son, so I did watch the broadcast today. It looked like an amazing race. Looked like a great
Yeah,
race.
I got in about halfway through by the time I got home and hopped in there and watched. And yeah, there was a lot of good battles on track. 100 laps, 4 cautions. Kind of impressive for that series being with all the new drivers, second race of the season. Yeah, Alan Bledsoe kind of dominated that race, leading 66 laps, and then
Yeah,
Brendan.
towards the end, it looked like it may have been a little bit of a pit strategy going on at the end and got him out front pretty good, and they just couldn't catch him.
Yeah, and I saw Alan Bledsoe getting the wall a few times. I'm assuming that might have played a factor in it as well. But yeah, Brendan just kind of drove away and led the last, not 15 laps or so, something like that.
Yeah. Well, we got him in the green room. We can go ahead and pull him on down. Brendan, is Matt and Tony, you got us?
I do.
What's going on, buddy?
Oh, not much. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good. Nice win at Vegas last night. I love Vegas. It's one of my favorite mile and a halves. And I haven't driven the ARCA cars much there, but I have turned a few laps in a pack before getting wrecked out, and I was loving it. How was the race for you
Yeah.
last night?
I wouldn't say I was loving it.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, it's extremely hard to pass. At least last night it was. I know we did a practice race in the off season, and it was just completely different. I'm sure it had something to do with it being noon rather than night. But you just couldn't pass last night, and if you're behind another car with dirty air, your car just didn't turn, and you just fried your tires compared to the clean air.
Yeah.
So you kind of mentioned the practice race at night, and then the official league race was during the day. So what do you feel was the dominant line for the race on Thursday?
Being in first.
Everybody loves that line.
I mean, that's the only way. Like, I mean, you looked at Allen; he led the first 67 laps. I mean, you couldn't pass. I mean, when I say you can't pass, you couldn't pass high, you couldn't pass low. There was literally nothing you could do. All they had to do was block the high line because you definitely can't pass bottom.
Sounds
Going on
like
the
some
outside
next
was your
gen
only
crap.
chance. Yeah,
Yep.
it was we knew it going into the race. We put in like 250 laps of practice and did like 6 long run practices, and we just knew that's what was going to happen. So that's why I short pitted there by 1 lap just to get the clean air. And as you can see, I just pulled away.
Yeah, we were just
Yeah.
saying that. It looked like at the end, I wasn't there last night, but I watched the broadcast today, and it looked like at the end there it came down to a little bit of a good call on a pit strategy, just short pitting it and
Just
getting
one
that
lap,
gap.
too.
Yeah, it was just one lap, right? That was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I will say Allen did slide through his pit box. It might have been a little bit closer, but I still think it would have. I think it still would have pulled by a little over a second. At that point, he wouldn't have had draft. So,
right.
my goal, honestly, I wasn't expecting to get ahead like that. I wasn't expecting to win last night. I was just trying to give myself a chance to maybe get ahead of him and then just block the high line like he was doing to me.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a way harder win there, but I was able to just pull away.
Yeah, I came in a little late, about halfway through the race, but I really watched those last, 15 laps or so, and I feel like you got pretty fortunate as well because Chase, Bledsoe, Riley Hoods all really started battling, and I think that really let you kind of
Yeah, pull away a
run
little
away
bit.
with it.
Yeah, and
Or at least
Riley,
save some tire.
Yeah, Riley was screaming in my ear like, "Why aren't we working together? We're never gonna catch them side by side." And I mean, he was right, and that's when they were only about 1.2 seconds behind me, and they were just battling it out. I mean, that's the best case scenario for me. Hate it for my teammate, but
And you're on what team are you on?
Premier Racing Team.
Premier Racing Team. Okay.
Yep.
Is that the
One of
PRT that somebody's talking about in chat?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know the chat names. Well, I know a couple. I don't know that one or the Corvette guy or Pickle Taters.
Well, it's Tyler Forshit, so we know
Who,
that.
Pickle Taters?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I can
The
remember
Corvette
that
guy.
one.
I know that. Is that Michael Ball, maybe?
It's a familiar one. I don't know who it is.
Yeah. I recognize the name. I'd have to go back and look, but I see him all over our Instagram page.
Oh.
But yeah, so Vegas worked out for you pretty well.
Yeah.
How do you feel
believe
about
you
these new ARCA cars?
I mean, I like them. I think it's a little too beginner friendly, to be honest.
They are easier to drive than the old ARCA car.
Yeah, it's just honestly, I guess you kind of said it. It's kind of like the next gen where everything feels so equal, and especially like at Vegas, it's so draft heavy. So even if you are better and got just a little bit better tire, even though you can't pass, I mean, if you just stay consistent, you'll keep up with the field. So
Yeah.
in
Got some
terms of
breaking
tag
news. You heard it here first, guys. The Corvette Guy 2004 is our Xfinity Series
that's
sponsor, Justin Miller.
I knew I recognized the name somewhere. All right, so Vegas worked out for you. How was Daytona for you?
It was good. Started on the pole, won the duel, got some bonus points. Chaotic duel, hung on to it out of 4, and then the race. Our whole team did amazing all race. We kind of, I feel like, dominated it. I think I led the most laps, but then just comes down to the end of those races, bad cautions, chaos, get shuffled to the back all of a sudden. Teammate makes a mistake, and all of a sudden we're finishing, outside. Alan finished 5th. I finished 5th, but I got shuffled to the back to like 13th on the last lap from like 2nd, and
Oh, I think I remember that.
yeah, the seas just opened right in front of me, and I stayed in it, and I was able to get 5th. It was an interesting race.
So you were talking about the duels. You were the one person out of all series that had the pole and won the duel.
Yeah. It was kind of
it's
crazy
a
too. I got
it's a
literally
ballsy
turned
call.
into
It
a
worked
four
out
and
for
then
you.
launched it.
But he had the pole on the duel, and he won
Yep,
his
and
duel.
on the duel. Yeah, so
See, if I had the
was
pole,
Will.
I'm just gonna back off. I'm gonna.
He was risking it for that
Oh,
extra bonus point.
can't do that, man. Yeah, I'm too competitive.
Well, what are your thoughts on the season? We've seen some competitive drivers in ARCA. Who do you think your contenders are going to be this season?
For sure, my teammates. Yeah, I mean, Alan's always tough on the long run. He likes to be conservative and save tires, which is boring in my opinion. Riley's gonna be
That's me.
tough.
That's what I do.
Uh, I think Kyle's gonna be tough, to be honest. I think he got taken out, but he won Daytona and ran the practice races against him, and
That's the 10 car, right?
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, I
he's gonna
think
be
yeah,
good.
he's gonna be quick. I think.
I think there's some other guys that probably just haven't shown, probably had some, mishaps in the first couple of races that are probably going to come out of nowhere and surprise us. There always seems to be that. So, but I'd say those four for sure, those three. So,
Yeah, looks like you and your teammates have the top 3 positions in points right now.
yeah.
You, Riley, and Alan.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's the goal. We're trying to win a team championship at the end of the day, so doing pretty good so far there. Alan's probably gonna. I mean, that dude's like a freak at Homestead. I don't even know. Doesn't even make sense. I hate that track. So he's like so conservative that he just pulls away from everyone, and it's like
Homestead. Is that where ARCA is next week? I was gonna ask that.
it is.
I think so.
It
Yeah.
is.
Homestead's an
That'll be
amazing
fun.
track. I bet
Yeah.
I bet. I mean, you can probably run the Larson line pretty good.
Oh,
I don't know what it's
I
gonna do
thought-
to your tires, but
I felt
Yeah.
like this car was really good on the Larson line.
Yeah.
Like it was like obviously the car's a little tight, especially in dirty air, so you had to anticipate it, but you can really ride the wall and gain a lot of time.
Yeah, I like riding the wall. So
high
Alan's a
risk, high
bottom feeder,
reward.
so, but yeah, it's gonna be an interesting race. I'd love to go back to back though.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Well, you locked yourself into the playoffs with that win at Vegas, so that's got to be a relief going forward.
Yeah, I wanted to win once at least, get locked in.
What's the
Do it race 2?
Yeah, what's the criteria? It's top 8 plus race winners.
Who have completed at least 50% of
50%
the
of the season, yeah.
Yep. So I assume that Brendan's going to be here for a minute, so I don't think that'll be a problem. But yeah, that's kind of because ARCA we have a tendency to lose drivers, bring new guys in. So
Oh yeah, this is a high attrition rate in the ARCA series.
Oh yeah, no, I totally understand that. No, I plan on staying the whole season for sure. Like I said in my interview last night, it's probably one of the most well put together leagues that I've seen across 4 different series. Like have a almost full driver count or have a full driver count's just insane to me. So
That's new this year. We knew it was coming at some point, and it finally happened this season. So yeah, we like it. We're happy with it. We want full fields, but we want full fields that are good drivers. We don't want full field.
Chaos.
Yeah, if the field's not gonna fill up, then so be it.
You're right. Yeah. No, I totally agree with you, and I think any league is gonna deal with some stuff in the beginning, and I think things just naturally weed themselves out over time.
Yeah, Homestead will be interesting next week. It drives a little. Vegas, in my opinion, is probably one of the easier mile and a half to drive.
Not in the ARCA car.
Yeah, you gotta wheel it. I think you're gonna have to wheel it more at Homestead.
Yeah, but I feel like it's gonna be. I don't know how to say it, but like think there's going to just be more of a difference.
Well, I don't
where
think
you have more. I think you're going to have more opportunities to do different things.
I agree with
try to,
that. I don't know
get around people.
I don't know if it'll be as much pack racing as Vegas is either.
Exactly. Yeah, because it's not designed like that.
Right.
There's a lot more off throttle time. There's just a lot more to it. You can run the top. You can run the bottom, middle. So yeah, I'll probably run the top, like I said.
Yeah, that's where I like running at Homestead personally.
Yeah,
Everybody loves running the top at Homestead.
Even if
It's
I burn it
fast.
up, at least I look cool.
Yeah. I'll tell you what though, they're like not necessarily in the ARCA car, but I've seen some people that really make the bottom line work.
Oh yeah.
I like the
and-
bottom.
I know.
I can run the bottom at Homestead. I've done good on the bottom at Homestead. Saves tire down there for me. I can save tire on the bottom,
Yeah.
and then when I need to use the top, I can go up there and use it. But
Yeah,
that requires
bottom's
long
the way.
runs, like real long runs.
I think we will. We got a long run last night. So.
Yeah. Looks like the ARCA season could be a pretty good one.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it for sure. That'll be
Same.
interesting. I can't wait for Kansas. So.
Oh yeah, Kansas is fun.
A. Paul B said he's a bottom feeder. I am too, bro. I don't
Yeah,
know who you are,
that's
but I am
Bledsoe.
too.
That's Bledsoe.
Oh, it's Bledsoe? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, he's boring and conservative.
That's what I did. I race the same way. But it can pay off in the end.
Yeah, it does, unfortunately.
You have to have the right
frustrating, but-
circumstances for it to pay off, but if you get
Yeah,
those
you need long, great-
circumstances, it pays off.
Need those long green flag runs.
Yeah. I got a damn bug flying around my face. I didn't invite him in here. Well, we just wanted to get your opinion on the race and the league and stuff like that. This is your first 2 races, right? You're brand new here, right?
I raced a couple ARCA races last year.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I think maybe like 5. It came towards the back end of the season. Met some guys in the 24-hour race, and they were like, "Hey, we remember you from last year." And so we got on a Discord, and then this league popped up, and I joined it, and the rest is history.
Right on. Well, welcome. So, but other than that, I think we'll let you go. Appreciate you stopping by and talking to us. Hopefully we can talk to you some more. We're gonna try to get race winners in here, the ones that are available every time we do it. Just to come in and hell, there'll probably be a lot of people I've never even met before. So.
Yeah, no, I like doing this type of stuff and talking about racing and giving my perspective on things. So it's always good chatting with you guys.
Right on, man.
We appreciate the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for stopping by, man.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right.
Well, that was Brandon Mathia, our ARCA race winner at Vegas. Tony, I'm out of cold beer. I'm going to have to go get me another one. I will be right back, everybody. Talk about something. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll talk about some stuff. So let's see. Where'd we leave off? We talked about Xfinity at Daytona with the Sack Attack getting the win. Kevin Biggs finished second, and Jacob Treat got a podium after leading 18 laps. All right, Jacob. Good job. All right, so let's talk Cup real quick. So Cup Daytona race. Our winner was Connor Darnell. Only led 1 lap, and it was the most important lap, the final lap. A lot of chaos at the end of that race, but I will say we ran 83 laps and only 4 cautions. One of those was a stage. First caution was somewhere around like lap 36 or 37, which collected me, unfortunately. But yeah, it was a good start off to the season, in my opinion.
What are you talking about, Daytona Cup?
Yeah. We're talking.
It was
we're talking
crap.
Daytona Cup. Yeah, for you and me, it was crap. But
Yeah.
overall, 3 cautions for cause, not a bad first race for the Cup Series. 26 lead changes. Justin Atkinson brought it home second after leading 22 laps, and then Chase Harden finished third.
Boo, Chase.
I finished second to last, so yeah.
I may have finished a couple spots in front of you. I'm not sure. I don't even remember how I got taken out or what happened, but Daytona was not good for me. And I love super speedway racing. Just wrong place, wrong time.
Oh, Davey's in the chat now.
Yay, Davey.
Yeah, but I mean, for the first race of the season, I felt like it was a pretty solid race, right?
It was. I had to watch it from pit road, but it was a good race for sure.
Yeah. So that was Daytona. We didn't talk about trucks at Chicagoland much, and I will tell you that was a very, very rough race to watch.
If I had to replay, I would have been playing it right now, but I don't have that one. I don't think anybody wants to watch that anyway.
Yeah, 12 cautions. It was pretty rough, but you know what? It can only get better from there. So I expect to see some better racing next week, and I believe, let me check where they're at.
Yeah,
I think they're at Richmond.
I didn't tune it. That's not going. I didn't tune into that truck race until about maybe 20 to go, and I was catching an earful from the admins about how the race was going. I was like, oof. I don't remember what I was doing. I think I was running A open. Yeah, they were not happy with the racing.
Yeah,
but
there was a lot of things that shouldn't have happened.
But I think the trucks. I have a theory about the trucks and why it can produce such bad racing when they're probably one of the easier stock cars to drive and to keep underneath you. I feel like.
I agree.
Because of the amount of downforce they have. But I think it kind of messes with people and feel that they can drive it a lot harder than they can. And, I think it makes for some bad racing sometimes.
Yeah, it was rough. Joe Robert got the win. Boo.
Boo.
Like Joe Ibarra was saying, Sam Leota finished second. That's always fun to see Sam, finish in a podium spot. And then Gatlin Downey finished in third.
He did. I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Mike Rominger led 48 laps, but must have got caught up in something. He was 2 laps down and finished 18th. Biggest mover was Mark Gonzalez, gained 27 positions.
I remember watching him. He's the 8 truck, right? I remember watching him during that race, making some moves, driving through the field. I think every restart, he was sending it 3 wide and the 1 on the bottom.
Yeah,
he made it work, so he didn't touch anybody.
Yeah, he started 31st and finished 4th, so that's quite an impressive crawl through the field.
Yeah. And actually, for all the viewers right now, because I know a lot of people like to tune in and like join the lobby as a spectator and stuff like that. While I'm thinking about it, iRacing's bugged right now, so people aren't allowed to join as a spectator. We don't have it blocked or anything. What you'll need to do is join off of a friend, like be friends with your teammates on iRacing and join through them. Things like that. There's other workarounds, like the admins and other people can join as drivers, but we just have to change your number. So don't join as a driver, or else you may screw up the numbers on the broadcast and the lobby for overlapping numbers. But there's workarounds to it. So I think the friends list is the easiest way.
Yep.
And if you're tuning in to watch a friend, go in and crew chief for them. Change their tires, fill it, give them the fuel, stuff like that.
Yeah, and,
All right.
and I did reach out to iRacing about that whole issue. They're aware of it and are
Yeah.
working it. So hopefully we'll see a fix to that here soon. But in the meantime, just like Matt said, if you don't have a friend that runs in that series, talk to somebody, become friends on iRacing, and then you can join that way without
Yeah.
any issue.
100%.
All right, so that was Truck Chicagoland. I expect that will probably be with any luck, that'll be the worst race of their season. It's going to be tough next week though, because Richmond's coming up, and
Richmond.
I don't
I
know.
haven't
I
haven't
never
driven
really
trucks
liked
at
it.
Richmond. I mean,
Never
I
really
have,
liked
I'm sure, but I don't remember them. Does it get loose out of 4?
I don't remember. I just remember that I was very uncomfortable driving those there.
Joe Nallback, yes, you can join as a spotter and not do anything.
Yep. I think there's a button you got to
There'll
click to
be a
become.
button at the top, like your normal UI, that normally where it says like qualify or go race or whatever it says, it'll say spot or spotter or something. As long as you don't click that, it's just normal iRacing. Then there's also a crew chief button that you would have to click down by the black box. And then you can change their tires and stuff, but they still keep their spotter. Now, if you want to mess with them, which is fun to do, is if you do click spotter, it takes away their in-game spotter. And now they have no spotter. So that's always fun. I enjoy. I think I did that to Chase one time at a Dega race or super speedway or something. Good times for me. But back to what we were doing. What were we talking about? Oh, trucks. I also think they've got some dirt races on the schedule. Is that right? Do they have?
Let's take a peek real quick. I believe they have one for sure. Let me. Yeah, they got a Knoxville race, dirt race, and that's like an all-star race. It's the ad members.
Oh, okay. So it's not a points race.
Right. However, ARCA will be on the dirt this season.
ARCA has 2 dirt races, don't they? Is it?
They got Eldora
and Knoxville.
And Knoxville.
Yeah.
Yep, so
that'll be fun.
I have not attempted to even drive the new ARCA car on dirt, so I'm curious.
It's good.
To see how...
It's good. And I'm not a dirt guy. I'm slow as hell. It's fun. I'll do it. Just know that I'm slow and probably wreck you if you're near me. But I'll do it.
Same. Well, we can
and
talk
where
about
are we? Is everybody going to Richmond next week?
Let's.
No, ARCA's going to Homestead.
Yeah,
ARCA's the outlier. They're like the redheaded stepchild. It's kind of over there doing their own thing.
Yeah, it looks like everybody else is at Richmond. So Richmond usually puts on some pretty good racing. I've always enjoyed that track because to me it's a finesse track.
Oh, right? It's like PRT's gonna miss Eldora. They're going to the 600.
Oh,
nice. Would definitely miss a race to go to the 600.
But yeah, Richmond's one of those ones where in a lot of the cars, like you can't just hammer down off the corner, right? You gotta manage your throttle quite a bit. So if you hammer down, you're gonna spin it out. So I enjoy those tracks. I like loose cars.
I love Richmond. I'm looking forward to Richmond. I'm hoping I get to finish. I hope I get a chance to finish a race this season at some point.
Same.
So,
my last one was technical difficulties though, so at least I didn't get wrecked out of both of them like you did. I only got wrecked out of one.
And for Cup, we just ran Richmond. They haven't changed anything with the track or the car in iRacing, so it should be pretty much the same setup and everything, which is nice for the Cup. We just ran there, you know what I mean? Everybody, I'm sure I will put in some refresher laps, but I'm not going to grind out a bunch of laps for it.
Yeah, that was one of our final races last season.
It was a championship race.
Yeah, yeah, it was.
Yeah, I remember.
Yep.
I came in second.
Yep.
I wasn't happy.
Ed Morris got the championship
Yeah,
and
he
the winner.
did. That was a good race, though. I was talking to Ed last night. I'm like, or Wednesday night after the race, and I was like, I don't think it's going to be as good as it was for that race. There's a lot of give for certain people, and a lot of people just minding their P's and Q's, and because they don't have anything to gain. If they can't win it, they're not going to push it.
Yeah, I mean they don't want to be the guy that takes somebody out of
Or
a
the
potential
Final Four,
championship.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I
it's
feel
going to
like
be a
that's
little different.
I feel like that's kind of status quo for the Cup Series, at least the last few seasons. So
Look, Corvette guy. Who's that again? Like I
that
said, I
is
didn't write it
Miller,
down.
Justin
Miller got it. Might start taking notes. Well, do we want to move on to something else? We were going.
Well, we still got 2 recaps. We could do the Chicagoland Xfinity and Cup race yet.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
No, we're good. We're good. Let's.
Chicagoland Xfinity.
Yeah, I mean it was a
It
decent
started
race.
rough. It started
It did.
rough.
It did.
And then it cleaned up and put on some really good racing, if I remember correctly.
Yep. So there was right off the bat we had an issue. I think it was one of the drivers blinked and it just caused a massive wreck on the start of the race.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, I want to say it was the blink. Don't quote me on that. I was in the race. I didn't see it happen, but that's what I had heard. And then it was pretty rough early on, but then once they got going, they had some really good long green flag runs. Brandon Banks got the win.
Yep.
William Peters was very, very competitive until a little issue with another driver.
Oh, Davey's saying it was Brady. Oh,
I wasn't gonna name drop anybody, but yeah,
I think we can name drop Brady.
Sounds clear, Brady.
Yeah. North-south driver making a ruckus. Dang.
But yeah, William Peters had a really good run until he had a little issue and got spun into the grass. Top 3 finishers were Banks with leading 50 laps. Alan Grindle had a really strong run, finished in second.
He did. I mean,
Yeah,
he led a bunch of laps, didn't he?
Yeah, he led 5. I think it was just that.
Oh, he
short
charged to the front there and kind of stayed out there. Yeah, he had a fast car.
Yep, got around Banks and then just wasn't able to hold him off. Maybe burned up a little bit more tire than he wanted to, just trying to make that charge around him. And then Danny Rogers, one of our new Xfinity drivers, finished in the 3rd spot. So good run for those guys.
I think he's gonna be that. I think that guy's gonna be quick. I think he's gonna be up front. From what I've seen, I think he's gonna be up front a lot.
So he ran ARCA last season for the viewers who don't know, and I remember him pretty much being in the top 5.
Yeah.
Almost every race.
Yeah.
At least from what I can recall. So yeah, I expect he'll have a lot more good finishes this season.
I would say let's try to get an Xfinity admin in here because I know one's awake, but he just typed in the. He likes to shame people publicly, so.
Well, he ain't
I think
gonna come
we
in
know.
here anyways.
I think we know who we're talking about.
Yeah, I don't ever see him hopping in a podcast unless he wins a race, maybe. But yeah. So that was the Chicago
Tyler.
race.
He is fast. He probably would have had a bunch more wins if Brugg wasn't down there.
Yeah, Brugg's stupid quick. So yeah, I think that kind of sums up the Xfinity race at Chicagoland. Banks locked himself in the playoffs. Joined Scary Sack as the 2 drivers locked in.
Yeah, I normally spend my Mondays kind of crew chiefing for Jacob down the Xfinity, which I've been enjoying that. I started doing it kind of little late-ish last season, but I've been enjoying it. It's fun. So
Yeah, and
as long as he
kind of
listens, I'll keep doing it.
something to note here. Banks and Saka are 2 winners, but neither of those guys is a points leader. Kevin Biggs is got a 8-point lead over Banks for first place.
Does
in
he
points.
now?
So he
I'm a
finished
Biggs
second.
fan. I'm a Biggs fan.
Yeah. So he finished second
Biggs.
at Chicagoland, and at Daytona he finished second. So
Yeah.
back-to-back run. Oh, my bad. He finished 4th at Chicagoland. So
I was
back-to-back top 5s.
I was a little disappointed that Biggs didn't come up to Cup this season, because for those that don't know, Biggs is kind of old school. He was around. He was around way back in the day and took a break to do something else and has come back.
Yeah, I think became a professional fisherman or something is what I heard.
Bass fishing or something. So.
Yeah, so that was
And
Xfinity.
I used to love racing around Biggs. He's a good, clean, solid driver. And yeah, Davey, he's very consistent.
Well, consistency will win you championships.
Yeah.
All right, so we talked about Daytona and Cup, but I don't believe we talked about Chicagoland.
No. Which is what's playing now in the background.
It's kind of unfortunate that we could not get the winner in here, because I feel like he would have a very good story to tell about that race and how he was able to get to the lead and win that. Made a 2-tire call at that final pit stop and came out in front and just was able to stay there. That was Brandon Park. And man,
since I was watching from the pits again, old Buckshot and the 7 of Ed Jr., they were running him down there for a while, and I'm looking at the times. I'm like, they can get him. They got enough time, and then I think their tires just died, and they couldn't do anything else. I thought they were gonna have them there, and about 10 to go, they just fell off.
I was talking to Davey last night about that, because I was out. My pedals failed me twice, so I was just kind of watching the race, and I was watching Davey, and man, he was driving in the corner hard, and then he'd gain a 10th, and then he'd stay consistent, and then he'd try something different, then he'd lose a 10th. So I think Davey gave it everything he had. He couldn't get there.
Yeah, I mean that two tire call was the winner. Because it didn't seem to hurt him any.
Right.
And when you've got that much of a gap out front, you can save a lot. You can save a lot because you don't have to go fast. Just manage a gap. They start to catch up a little bit, increase your gap a little bit, then slow back down.
And our race winner, I want to make note that this is Brandon Park's first Cup win in Relentless.
Oh, was it?
Yep.
Nice.
And
good for him.
His second total win. He won a Xfinity race at Indy Road back in 2023. So that would have been season 2 or?
Oh yeah,
I think that was season 2.
I've never had a problem with Brandon Park on track. I've always tried to run him clean. He's always tried to run me clean. I've never had any issues with him. Don't mind being around him.
So, funny story about Brandon Park. He was actually an unsigned ARCA driver back when he first came into the league. So I reached out to him and said, "Hey, you want to join my team, and we'll get a few of you together, that don't have teams, and y'all can run together and whatnot." So I didn't even know who he was until that point, and then just kind of a quiet guy, doesn't really have many issues on track, just good, consistent driver.
Yeah, I like the guy. I've never talked to him much or hung out with him or anything, but I don't mind being around him on track.
Yeah, so he got his first Cup win. This is his second season in Cup, I believe.
Yeah.
Davey finished second. Ed Morris finished third. Both Davey and Ed had really solid points nights. Gained a
They
lot of stage
They
points.
did. They had a good race, both of them.
Yep, got both of them led laps. They got that bonus point. I think the only one who had a better points night overall was probably Johnny Brugg.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he ended up with 17 stage points and 3 bonus points.
Man, there was a lot of trading paint with old Johnny Brugg with a bunch of people in the field there at the end. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if I don't know. Brugg Brugg getting treated bad really recently, it feels like. I don't know what's going on. I ain't blaming anybody. I'm like, damn, why y'all doing that to Brugg?
Yeah,
But Brugg was pinching some people at Chicagoland, and I noticed that.
I know him and Isaac Wilson had a little tangle, but I
think Brugg came down. He was on the outside, and he thought maybe Isaac was going to go below the onto the apron through the tri-oval, and Isaac didn't. He wasn't going to, and
Right.
Brugg came down and doored him a little bit. But I'm like Isaac. I don't tend to use the apron through the tri-oval unless I'm trying to scoot underneath somebody, you know.
Yeah, I feel like it's really unpredictable down there because dirty air, it kind of pushes you up the track when you don't want it to.
Yeah. But if I'm not going to go down underneath there, I'm not going to let you push me down there neither, you know?
Right.
Like, bro, what are you doing?
Well, and if that happens and they're too close to you, it gives you a horrible entry into turn one, and then you're slow off the corner, and it kills you down the backstretch. So, but we haven't talked about the real big incident that happened on track. One person had some technical difficulties.
You're talking about the 35 car.
Yeah, that 35 car had some issues where his screen froze, and
what lap was that? We already saw it. It was early.
Yeah, I want to say, well, Greg and Angel were 131 laps down of 150 laps, so got to be lap 19. But yeah, tech difficulties. Screens.
He was a little high up off the line. I agree. He could have been lower if he was gonna go down to that, not on the apron, but through the tri-oval. I agree. I'm not really faulting anybody.
But yeah, we saw the 35 car going down the grass, and then coming back up on track and just totaled a couple of cars.
Oh, strong cars too.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, but you know, stuff happens.
One of them mic'd up on the race comms and was like, "I don't even know what happened." He just got destroyed. Yeah, it was Greg. Yeah, I know you and Isaac are buddies, Brugg.
And then I had my issue where my throttle stuck coming off pit road and ended up spinning Joey Maines out. Once again, I
can't
apologize.
Believe you did that.
Man, it was crazy.
So, well, we'll use what we're talking about up here soon. When we transfer to the like the new penalty system and stuff that we want to talk about, and how those are called for a penalty. We did not call those penalty. It's kind of equipment failure, right? Like somebody's fault. You didn't do anything dumb.
Yeah, no.
Shit broke.
I should have pushed the clutch in, but my reaction was to hold the brake, and obviously it didn't work.
'Cause I watched it, and I watched Tony, and I'm like, something broke, because he just like hit full throttle. Like he wouldn't do that.
Yeah, it was. So my throttle was giving me issues going into the corner about, I don't know, 5 laps before that, and it would like stick at about half throttle. So I'd mat it real quick, and then it would come back. But that's when then coming out of pits, it just hung wide open. It was bad. And it's funny, like Davey says in the chat, the other day my throttle wouldn't work at all, so I had to take the piece off and clean it all out and put it back on. Then it started working, and it was good until about lap 30 last night, and and it started acting up. And
I mean, and Brug's on the same page as me. It's equivalent to a mechanical failure in real life. You know, it's not the
Yeah.
driver's fault. It's not the pit crew's fault. It's not anybody's fault. The damn axle broke and you wrecked 3 cars. You know, but
Yep.
the engine blew and piled everybody up, or you know, it's nobody's
Yeah.
fault.
And I
Can't
feel
get
like
penalized for that.
as a league, we've been very understanding of that, and I don't see that changing anytime.
Jacob, it's happened. It's a rare occurrence, but it does happen. You know, it's not every 2 or 3 weeks that's happening to somebody, but it's happened.
Yeah,
I've seen
it's a
people. I
one-off.
remember one season. I think it was the first Daytona. This is when we were the previous league, and Daytona lap 1 take the green, and one of the guys on my team, North South, as soon as he hit the gas, everything shut down in his car, turned immediately right, and he wrecked the league owner at the time, and just piled up a bunch of cars. But what are you gonna do? I mean,
Could also go with the Michelob incident.
oh yeah,
Remember that one?
yeah. Well, no, Michelob, he stopped his car. He says somebody was banging on the side of his trailer. So he stopped the car and thought it was off track, but it wasn't. That's what happened with Michelob.
A bunch of us lined up, and
Mike,
those of us behind it didn't know. And then,
Mike killed him.
Yep.
But so let's talk about the new penalty system here. So I'm 98% sure that Xfinity has adopted this.
Yes.
Somewhat,
I would say they use they make the calls and not having the
correct.
team. Yeah.
Yeah. So our new penalty system for Cup and Xfinity is what you see on here. And you're gonna see me looking over here a lot because that's where I can read it. It's a little different than last season. What it's adding from last season is a compounding penalty structure to where if you're a repeat offender every week, you know, it's gonna hurt you a little more. And I know it can be a little confusing. I don't think we need to talk about it too much. We can always ask questions in chat. Anybody will reach out. But for the lower series guys, this is what we do in Xfinity and Cup. Now, Xfinity admins call it themselves. The Cup series uses a disciplinary review board, who is a group of 6 people that applied to the position and were selected, and they review the race from a non-biased point and issue the penalties. So
yeah, I think maybe we could talk about why we did that too, right?
Yeah,
and
we could.
It's always an issue with the Cup Series because I would say all the admins now except for one are Cup drivers.
Yeah, yeah.
So it makes it kind of difficult for the admins who are Cups to make the calls.
Wait, which one?
Series.
Oh, Nidic?
Well, Nidic and Chad, I guess.
Oh, Chad, yeah.
But yeah, you know, all of your series admins are all Cup drivers now. So where the Xfinity side, they have dedicated admins who are not part of that series. So that's why they make the calls on their series, and then we have the DRB for the Cup side.
Yeah. And we as the admin teams kind of set the guidelines, and they review the race and do the penalties for us. That way, myself and Kevin, we don't have to be bad guys. Like, hey, they called it, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
And it
I don't
adds
like
more
them.
perspectives too, you know.
It does. There's 6 of them, and I'll tell you what, they've been doing a bang up job, in my opinion. They do it right after the race is over. There are a couple guys on there that are in the Cup Series, um, and then there's quite a few that aren't, and they're ready to go, um, and review the race, and they're done pretty quick. Chicagoland was pretty quick. I was surprised how quick they got done, but it was pretty. I don't want to say uneventful, but there weren't a lot of cautions or incidences, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't think we need to harp on that too much.
Nah.
Um,
But I feel like it's good for anybody lower series watching who wants to move up to kind of understand a little better, you know,
right. We like clean
what they might see.
racing. We like green flag racing. Um, for all the series.
Yes.
No one likes the pace. No one.
No.
So.
Unless that works out in my favor, then I'm okay with it. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, towards the end of the race, especially if you're the leader with the restart zone and you're coming to green white checkers on a short track, you're like, yes, yeah, keep wrecking, keep wrecking.
Click them laps off.
Yeah. So, well, you got anything else you want to talk about? If
Nah,
so,
I
I'm
think-
gonna need to grab another beer. Let me check my notes. Nope, I'm out of topics.
Yeah, I mean, we've been on for about an hour, so I think it's a good time to call it.
Yeah, it has been an hour. Right on. Well, I appreciate everybody coming out. Appreciate Joe and Brendan coming on for the interviews, and Tony for joining me.
I guess one last thing. Do you want to mention about the form you posted in our Discord for those who don't pay attention to Discord?
I posted out a questionnaire. Should be under admin announcements. For anybody in the league that's a real life racer. It's just a questionnaire for you to fill out, just some basic questions. Probably take you 5 minutes. You don't even got to be that descriptive in there. And we'd like to get some, because I know we have a few. I can name like 4 off the top of my head right now, and I know there's more. Um, and and have you on the podcast to do a good interview for and talk about your experience with real life racing. Because everybody that haven't done it that is in here, I guarantee you wish they could, and would love to hear the stories. So
Yeah, and we also have some other things planned in the near future. You know, we got SFH, the ARCA sponsor, coming on June 6th. So that'll be a
yes,
really good episode.
yeah, I forgot about that. June 6th, SFH, our ARCA sponsor, will be on here. Great organization, great group of guys. If you haven't looked into them, check them out. I think I'm about to buy me a hat. But yeah, great organization. A lot of the proceeds, I think 50% of the proceeds go to helping wounded veterans. And not just veterans, I don't think. It's kind of anybody that needs it.
Yep. I'm excited for that one. I'm
Me too.
very, very curious to hear about the story behind SFH.
I'm gonna have to
and
figure out how to get, because I know they have a podcast, so I'm sure they have webcams. I'm gonna have to figure out how to get all of us up here on it at the same time. I know how to do it. I just got to figure out how to work it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, appreciate everybody coming out. I think we're gonna call it, and everybody have a good night and good luck in your upcoming races.